What is going on, YouTube? Just helping you out here. In this video, I will be unboxing and giving you my first impression of the new 2024-2025 First LEGO League Submerged Challenge Set. These challenge sets typically contain a field mat, several numbered bags of Legos for the field elements, dual lock to secure the elements to the field, and directions for downloading the game and element build instructions, which should be available August 6th. I encourage you to stay tuned to my YouTube channel, as I expect to build my own robot and upload my ideas. Please excuse any background noise or variation in lighting during this unboxing. So with that said, I hope you enjoy this video. So let's take a look at the box. This box is very similar to last year's box. They do have a little bit more color on it than they have in previous years. We have these three straps right here, all right, which seem to do a pretty good job holding these boxes together. I've received several of these and haven't really had any problem with them. We have a little piece of tape here. Just seals the box, I guess, just in case. We have the information about what's in the box and who it's from here. And on the right, this is just their shipping information. It's their barcodes, I assume, for shipping and tracking. So I want to go ahead and take a little bit better look at this. We're just going to zoom in for a second. Okay, so if we take a look at this, okay, this tells us it's from LEGO Education, which we knew. This is for the first LEGO League Challenge program. And right here we see that this is for the submerged year, okay? The 9+ tells us this is for ages 9+. It's their number 45826. That's their model number or their part number for this field kit this year. That's different every year. It's got 1,917 pieces in it. It's a lot of Legos, probably a lot of bags in there. Over on this side, we have some warning information. This tells us that there's small parts in there, so we do want to be careful. Down here, we see the LegoEducation.com website. That's a good thing to have a link to because sometimes you're missing pieces or sometimes there's a broken piece or something like that. And LEGO has been extremely good at helping out and supporting. If you're missing a piece, they typically will just send you a new piece or they'll replace a damaged one. So it is really important that you hold on to that information because you might need to get something replaced in your kit. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to open up the box. Okay, let me cut the box open. Chop these off. I'll take them out of there. And I don't want to forget the tape. And in here, it's typically just a little packing slip, tell you what you ordered, where they shipped it. That's for your records. So here's our box. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and we're just going to tilt it down and kind of see what it looks like inside. All right, so if you can see that, there's actually a lot of Legos in there. Okay, here's the mat, a lot of bags of Legos. I'm just going to take the mat and stick it off to the back here for now. We'll get to that later. Okay, but there's all the bags of Legos. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all those bags out and we're going to sit them on the table in numerical order, and then we'll take a look at what's inside each one of the bags. Okay, now all the bags are out on the table, and wow, that's a lot of bags. It's 33 bags and 2 unlabeled bags. I don't think I've ever seen that many in a kit. So they might have taken some of the smaller pieces out of the bags and bagged them separately, or maybe they've separated some of the larger mission models into some smaller sections to make it easier for building. I know last year some of the mission models were grouped in one number, I should say, and that was several bags, so they might have had, 3 bag 17s, and you had a lot of parts and a lot of instructions to build it. This year it looks like they've separated them all out into individual bags. So let's take a quick look now at what's in the bags. Again, please excuse the crinkling noise. These bags are kind of a noisy bag. I'll do my best to kind of keep the noise down. All right, one of the things I want to mention up front is most of these bags have numbers on them, and they'll correspond to build instructions when they come out in August. But you do have a couple bags that do not have any numbers on it. In this case, we have two. We have one here and one here. Okay. These two bags, basically what they do is larger parts that either don't fit in the smaller bags for the mission models, or they want to group some bigger parts that just take up more room. They'll put them in unlabeled bags, and what will happen is in the build instructions, it'll tell you that you use, let's say, bag 12 and two of these parts out of one of the unlabeled bags. So you'll see that when you get into the instructions. Speaking of instructions, you're going to get this inside the box. This basically gives you the information for the website, firstlegoleague.org/season resources or pound resources. This tells you where you're going to find the build instructions to build the kit. So you're going to go there first, you're going to download the PDF files, and then you'll have the information to build. And then this just gives you a little idea on the back of what that's going to look like. You're going to take the parts out, you're going to pick the numbered bag, give you instructions for building it. You build that one, you're going to move on to bag 2. Okay, so it's fairly systematic. And also what comes in the box is dual lock. Okay, so dual lock is a big pad of this material. I'm going to try to go in angle it a little bit so you can see. There are these little squares. It's kind of like a Velcro material. You put this on both the mission model and the mat, and you'll be sticking your mission models down to the field. So you do get a batch of that. You have to be careful because although that looks like a lot of dual lock, they typically don't give you a lot extra. So you want to make sure you don't waste it. Okay, let's take a look at the bags. I'm going to try to do this quietly. Okay, here's bag 1. See, in bag 1 you do have a loop over here. We've got some beams, some square plates or square beam plates, some pins, a couple axles. Turn that around, give you a better view of the back. Alright, so that's bag 1. I'm going to put that back over here. Take a look at bag 2. So bag 2 is actually a lot of smaller pieces. So maybe they did separate these out. So we've got some smaller pins, some a couple axles in there, a couple other smaller pieces. I'm not really sure what these are. All right. So that's our bag 2. Okay, bag 3, we do have some larger pieces now. Some axles, some larger beams. Got some parts here that are little dome pieces. Get a little back shot of that. Alright, there's some more beams, small plates. That's our bag 3. Okay, bag 4. Bag 4 is a bunch of smaller pieces again, so I think they are separating most of this out. So pins, some different color pins, a couple little flower pieces here. Again, mostly pins and connections there. That's our bag 4. Bag 5, we're back to some bigger pieces. So we've got some plates, some angled plates, some rectangular plates, bevel pieces here. I don't know if you can see that. So that's our bag 5, our larger pieces. Move on to 6. Okay, 6 doesn't have all that much in it. And you can tell it's bag 6. Has this little dot in the lower right-hand corner. We'll see when we get to bag 9, it's going to be on the other side. But this is how you can tell it's bag 6. Okay, and there's our bag 6. A couple angled beams, cap plates. You go on bag 7's back to a bag with mostly pins. A couple other things, but this is mostly pins. Some of the blue pins with the axle on the back, some of the straight black pins, a couple of the gray pins. Right. So that's our bag 7. Bag 8's pretty small. Bag 8 has a loop in it, minifig. So this is probably like we had last year where it's a little loop with a minifig that you're going to be picking up and placing somewhere. There's a little fin there. Submerged game this year, water game, so makes sense that there's some little fins on the bottom of the minifig. That's your bag 8. Okay, now bag 9, you'll notice again the dot is now on the lower right hand corner of the 9, so you know that this is bag 9. And we have some angled beams, some plates, some of these kind of wing pieces were in some of the kits. There's a good shot of the back. We've got some more beams, some angle beams. Kind of another strange thing here. Looks like a little underwater item. Okay, so that's our bag 9. And here's our bag 10. Now, interestingly, bag 10 seems to have a bag inside a bag. Sometimes we get that. I thought they separated that out mostly this year. Last year there were a lot of bags in bags. So there's a bag inside right here that has some additional pieces in it. So you'll see bag 10 has some pins and some beams and things like that. Has some of these couple little pieces look like maybe some seaweed or something. And then the bag in the bag, you can see that a little better on the back. Here's the other bag, and it has some much smaller pieces in it. So I guess they wanted to keep the smaller pieces separated so they didn't get lost. Looks like there's a little minifig head in there, a couple axles. So this has a variety of things in it. Okay, that's bag 10. Okay, let's go to bag 11. Again, bag 11 is a fairly small bag of pins. It's mostly pins, black, some grays, little caps. Couple other little things in here, but that's mostly small axles and pins. Okay, there's bag 11. Okay, bag 12 gets into some larger pieces again here. So there's bag 12, and we have some beams, some angled beams. Here's some of these little, let's see, that's a little cup kind of thing, or a little barrel. Here we have, looks like a little chest of some sort. So this is some larger pieces, beams, a couple oddball kind of parts, a little white piece in here. And that's bag 12. It's going to be a larger mission model. Okay, 13. This is kind of strange. 13 is a bag of mostly pins, a couple connectors, but it also has a bag within a bag again. Here's that bag in the bag. It has some smaller pieces in it, little caps. So if we look at that, that's mostly some of these little white caps, a couple blue pins. Then we have the larger blue pins and smaller axles in there. So it's all smaller parts, and they separated it into 2 bags. It's bag 13. Bag 14, that's mostly beams. A couple axles. A couple of these, look like little crabs in there. Again, an underwater game. Yeah, it looks. There's some little crab pieces in there. Now, that should be interesting. See what that one is with the crabs. And 15 is a bunch of elbows and pins. Got some color to it, some yellow, blue. Alright, so that should be a pretty simple model. Bag 16. Okay, bag 16 has a plate. It has some of these larger white cap pieces here, some beams. 3 of those in there. And here's some interesting parts here, these red S pieces. Couple other little interesting pieces in there. So that's a little different. Alright, some pieces we haven't seen. Here's 17. 17's again pins and a couple of the round half thick plates. Mostly pins. Okay. There's 18. Now 18's got some of the larger plates in it, and it's got some of these round discs and some clear caps. I don't know if you can see that clear cap very well. We'll see if we can turn it over and see the other side. Here's another one of these round discs. It's kind of interesting. There's another one of these clear caps in here. Got a hinge section on it. That's kind of interesting. Alright, and it's still got some beams and axles, and so this one has a variety of parts in it. Kind of interested to see what that is. It's 18. 19, we're back to a smaller bag, and this has some little different pieces in it. This little wedge piece, some T-beams. Also has one of these white pieces back here that's a beam with actually the Lego pins on the top of it. And they used to send them out in the older kits with the NXTs. They kind of stopped sending them out, but they're starting to show up again. So there's bag 19. Moving on to 20. Again, 20 is a small bag also. Bag 20 has some pins, some smaller cap plates. There's a little beam in there. Some of these little white bridge looking pieces in here. Again, not a whole lot in there other than the pins. Okay, there's bag 20. Okay, let's do bag 21. Okay, bag 21 is mostly beams. There's a gear. So there's the top of the gear, there's the inside of the gear over here. A couple axles. Got some L's. Some regular beams, axles. Okay, so that's bag 21. 22, we're back to a bag with mostly pins. You seem to be doing a lot of this, just separating out the pins and the smaller pieces. So mostly blue, black pins, a couple of the pins with the axles on it. There's our bag 22. Bag 23, we have some larger pieces. Okay, so we have some larger plates. We have some of these kind of rounded plate pieces. Actually a handful of these rectangular beam plates. They're good for structures. Alright, some regular beams, have an L down there. Okay, so that's our bag 23. Bag 24, we have another one of the bags in a bag. So here's another bag in here. It looks like mostly pins. And then the rest of the bag, we have a variety of things. We have a wheel, some beams, some smaller Lego pieces, some of the thinner half-thick beams, axles. And again, here's that bag in the bag. So they're still doing that. Don't know quite why they do it with some and not others. This is kind of an interesting piece, if you can see that. It's got the little, looks like teeth on it. Maybe that's supposed to be a shark or something. And we'll find out. It's bag 24. And bag 25. Not a lot in this one. Okay, there's bag 25. I have some pins, a couple of these kind of sloped beam pieces. Got some beams, some pins, a T. Not much in that one. Bag 25. Okay, bag 26. Some smaller pieces again. We have a lot of pins, some T's, a couple axles, an L, some of the adapter ends. Mostly pins. Lots of pins. Okay, 27. We have a lot of pins again. A lot of the blue pins with the axle end on it. Then we have a loop in here, but I don't see any minifigs or anything, so not sure what that loop is for. But we do have a loop in there, a couple of these little end caps. That's bag 27. Bag 28. A bunch of the plates. A bunch of those large black plates, a white plate, a couple of the kind of rounded plates over here. Back view, there's one of the white beam plates. Right. A couple different sizes of those plates. You got the half size, full size. Good structural parts. Bag 29. Bag 29, we've got some beams, a couple angled L's in here, some connectors. That's actually a nice big blue wedge piece. Got two of these large wedge beams with the bevel in it there. Slope, that's kind of interesting. Alright. It's bag 29. And bag 30. Bag 30 has some beams, some angled beams, a couple of these round plates. Both of these bevel pieces, so that's going to make kind of a little bit of a dome there. Pointed dome. We have an axle in there. Another little couple interesting pieces here. Alright, so that's our bag 30. And here we are with bag 31. The bag 31, let's see here, we have some loops in there, and some beams, some connectors. I have a couple pieces look like some underwater underwater seaweed or something like that. Again, water game, so that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so that's our bag 31. Put that one back. Bag 32. Again, this is mostly pins. We do have another loop in here, but I don't see like a minifigure or anything. So another one of those things, maybe that goes with another set or another mission model. But that's mostly pins. Bag 32. Okay, so 33 is something you don't really need to build or anything. This is the penalty tokens for each year. They're pretty much the same every year, so they'll be out on the field. This is penalty tokens, and then these are your little souvenir tags. You just kind of snap them together, and you can hang them on a lanyard or something like that. Give them to the kids, give them to the coaches. All right, but that's not really a mission model. Okay, now, in addition to these, remember I said sometimes there's a bag that has some extra things in it. We had a couple of them this year, so here's one of those bags. Okay, so this has some larger pieces in it. It has these 15-hole beams, has some of these white plates, and some of these gears. These are fairly large circular gears. So again, they put these in a separate bag, and what will happen is when you're doing your build instructions, it'll say, oh, use bag 23, and then one of the white plates out of the other bag. So it'll tell you in the instructions when they want you to use one of these bags. Here's the second one. Okay, this again has some of the larger beams in it, and then it has some of these large beam plates in it. Okay, here's some of the medium-sized black ones, and then in the back here, you can see one of the real large ones. Okay, so here's another one, and the long beams. So I don't know why they don't just all pack these in one bag. They seem to do this every year. They have 2 or 3 of these bags. And then lastly, sometimes there's just parts that don't fit in anything else. So we have a couple of these axles that they just kind of threw in the box. Sometimes they do that. You have these larger beams or axles or something like that that don't fit in anything. So they just throw them in the box. All right. So that's our kit. That's a lot of bags. It's going to be a lot of building this year. This seems to lend itself to multiple kids doing a bag at a shot. So what we normally do is 2 kids per mission model. So that gives us the opportunity to get the kids working together when they start building. But a lot of bags. Leave some time to get all this built. All right, I'm going to take all these, put them back in the box, and we're going to go and do a video on the mat so that you can kind of get an idea what the mat looks like, and we're probably going to do that in a separate video. Okay, so that's about it for this video. Feel free to check out all of our other LEGO videos in the playlist in the top left corner. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, leave a comment if you have any questions or an idea for a future video. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends about my channel so I can grow and help more of you guys out. I'm just helping you out. See you in the next video.